For most of human history, the answer to the question, "What should I do with my life?" was simple. Survive, work, build, create, provide. These were not just activities, they were identity. Now, for the first time in history, a machine can do all of them. Better, faster, cheaper, without rest. So what happens to us when the things that defined us no longer need us? This is not a video about losing jobs. That conversation is already happening everywhere. This is about something deeper, something economists don't measure and politicians don't discuss. This is about what happens to human meaning in a world where artificial intelligence can do almost everything we can, and most things better. Welcome to Mind and Machine, where we explore what AI reveals about being human. Let's think about this together. Philosophers have wrestled with the question of meaning for thousands of years, but most of their answers share something in common. Meaning comes from contribution, from doing something that matters, from being needed. Aristotle called it eudaimonia, the deep satisfaction of living according to your potential. For most humans throughout history, that potential expressed itself through work. The farmer who fed a village, the craftsman whose hands built a home, the doctor who understood what others could not. Even today, when someone asks who you are, the first thing most people say is what they do. I am a teacher. I am an engineer. I am a nurse. We don't just do these things. We are these things. And that is exactly why what is coming next is not just an economic disruption. It is an identity crisis on a civilizational scale. Let's be specific about what we are actually talking about. AI is now passing the bar exam in the top 10% of human scores. It writes code that senior engineers describe as better than their own. It composes music that audiences cannot distinguish from human composers. It diagnoses rare diseases that took human doctors years to identify. Now, you might be thinking, these are just tools. Humans are still in control. Humans are still needed. And right now, you are correct. But the trajectory matters more than the current position. In 1950, a car needed a driver. Today, self-driving systems are already safer than human drivers in controlled conditions. The question is never where we are today. The question is always, where is this going? And the honest answer is, toward a world where human labor in almost every form becomes optional. Not tomorrow, but within the lifetime of people already alive today. Serious thinkers have proposed 3 answers to this question. The first is the answer of the optimists. They point to what happened after the Industrial Revolution. Machines took over physical labor, and instead of mass meaninglessness, humanity invented entirely new forms of work. New art, new science, new connection. Perhaps AI will do the same. Free us from the work we had to do, so we can finally do the work we actually want to do. This is a beautiful idea. It might even be true. But there is a problem. The Industrial Revolution replaced human muscle. AI is replacing human mind. These are not equivalent disruptions. The second answer comes from philosophers who argue that meaning was never really about work at all. That we confuse the vehicle with the destination, that meaning lives in relationships, in love, in presence, in experience, in the irreducible fact of being conscious in a universe that mostly is not. A machine can write a symphony, but it cannot sit with a dying parent. It cannot feel the specific weight of holding your child for the first time. It cannot grieve, or wonder, or hope. Perhaps meaning was always there, in the spaces between our productivity, and we simply never had time to find it. The third answer is the most uncomfortable, that we genuinely don't know. That humanity has never faced this question at this scale and speed. That our philosophical traditions were built for a different world, and that we are navigating without a map. Here is what I keep coming back to. Every time in history that humans lost a defining role to technology, we found something new to be. But we also suffered first. We grieved what we lost before we discovered what came next. Maybe that is where we are right now, at the beginning of a grief for a version of humanity that is quietly ending, and at the threshold of something we don't have words for yet. But here is what this channel is going to explore. Not just the big questions, but the practical ones too, because thinking clearly about this is itself a skill. And it is one of the few skills AI cannot replace. Next week, I will show you the 5 AI tools that actually help you think better, not just faster, because understanding what AI does to human purpose starts with understanding how to use it wisely. If this made you think, subscribe, and leave one comment. What do you think gives humans irreplaceable meaning? I read every single one.